Hi again, this is Rick with AmazingAccuracy.com, and today is May 18th, 2017. It's currently 8:28 p.m. Chicago time. Well, the last video I did, I believe it was on the crude oil. Matter of fact, I think the last two videos I did was on crude oil, and I hope you've seen those videos. If you have not, please check them out because they were exceptional, if I say so myself. Or you can go to AmazingAccuracy.com because I just went ahead and put it there. The two last major bottoms in the crude market was nailed to the very day and posted on YouTube before it happened. So there is no mistake that the analysis was done utilizing my indicators and F dates and just a whole lot of work. Anyway, with that being said, we're now on to something else, the Canadian dollar. Getting off the crude oil for a little bit here because I don't have anything to talk about that deals with crude oil at the moment. So, Canadian dollar. We're currently looking at the monthly chart of Canadian dollar. You can see right up here, I believe it's in the top screen, it says Canadian dollar, and you can see I have it set on monthly. This software is my Provisions charting software. Our premium members get to use this application. It has all kinds of nifty tools, and what I did is I put on here the 180-degree time price squares just to see what kind of price action was happening within here. And you can see that back here in January 2016, it had hit major support. You can see that prior to that, it hit resistance October 2015. You can see it hit resistance here in May 2016. And currently in May 2017, the low is sitting on support. Each one of these is 180 degrees, so that's a full circle, 360 degrees from there to there. If you don't know what that means, don't worry about it because that's not important for you to understand what I'm sharing with you in this video. And that is what I think and believe that Canadian dollar is up to next. Now, as you can see, the Canadian dollar has been in a serious bear trend since putting in a major top back in July 2011. That would be right there. Okay, so since putting that major top, it has been in a serious bear market all the way up until it hit that low here of January 2016. Then it ran up in up to May 2016 before it started to correct again. But so far, it has only corrected somewhat about 62, a little over 62% of the initial rally back up. So it has not violated that January low, and I don't believe that it will. One of the big reasons why I don't believe it will is based on a couple of indicators that I like to use. For example, if I can move this screen here, and you can see down here, I have a MACD set here, pretty much standard settings, you know, that 12, 26, 9, something like that. It's just pretty much standard stuff. And then I have a DMS indicator here in Provisions chart, and then I plot it and I put below here. And what you can see here is we have what's called a convergence divergence. You can see the lines come up on the DMS and the MACD comes down. When they get to close proximity, which is oversold here and overbought here, then they start to diverge from each other, as you see here. This has a high reliability indication that the trend has ended, at least for this time period. And so far, so good. The trend had ended at this period and currently now is just correcting off of its initial rally since then. All right, let me go ahead and put this back up again so you can see the screen the way it was. Okay, now the May 5th, which is this month, on May 5th, if you look on the daily chart, which is right there, May 5th, that is the bottom so far this month, and it is the bottom that you see here for the month of May that is at this 360-degree support. Okay, so daily prices found support in oversold territory, which is right here, and it also corresponds with that 360-degree drop that I had showed you right here, which was calculated off of the May 2015 high 2 years ago. So this is an exact 2-year move for this 360-degree support you see here. And I've already told you about the October 2015 resistance and the January 2016 support, the May 2016. You notice May just keeps popping up. Resistance here and the May 2017 support. These hits, resistance and support, help to validate the application of these squares that I have here. As long as price appears to actually see these support resistance lines, I leave them on here and let them do their thing, and they've been pretty good so far, as you can see here. Now, it should also be noted that the January 2016 bottom that you see here, it also occurred at its own convergence divergence of the MACD back in January, but that the daily itself, and I'll bring down this indicator thing here, or this camera I should say. Notice that the May 5th, this much May 5th bottom itself had its own convergence, divergence of the MACD and DMS. Now, if you go back here, you'll see the last time that happened was here. That made a major bottom here in March 9th, and you can see that it produced this rally that came all the way up to April 13th before it decided to continue on down. But what I like about the Canadian dollar and why I'm really got my eyes on it right now is the fact that we see this happening on the daily here, and then you go to the monthly and you see that back here and it already had happened. So on the daily we see it's happening here, on the monthly it was happening here. This is telling me that we're likely now to stage another rally in the Canadian dollar market. I hope that makes sense. And going back over here again, we see we got some F dates here for the weekly. This is the weekly time frame, by the way, so let me just bring this camera back up. I wish it could cover everything, but then all the bars would be too small and you wouldn't see it, so I have to kind of move things around. All right, so you can see I'm looking at the weekly now, and you can see back here is where the January 2016 bottom occurred, and you had already seen the convergence divergence that occurred back then. Here's the rally that ensued following, and this is the correction. And the correction, if you'll notice, the rally was strong, the correction has just been kind of lollygaggling along down here. But what I'm expecting to see here is that we're going to start soon to be rallying here in the Canadian dollar. Now, going back to the daily, I do want to say, for example, that it is my belief, now right now we have not hit overbought territory, which is this green zone, but we have come from the red zone here. I prefer, even though this here is expected to be the bottom, I would like to see a correction in the Canadian dollar where then a trader, we could look to buy into the Canadian dollar for that longer term outlook of a bullish move in the Canadian dollar. I'd like to get it at the best price possible. I like to see a correction down here. And the time period that I'm looking for is the end of May. So I'm looking at between the time of May 29th to May 31st. That 3-day area there, I'll just write that in there so you can see that I wrote it. Okay, so May 29 to 31. So within that time period, if prices move down to where we have a potential swing bottom, that is, a possible bottom like this or this or this or this, that's what a swing bottom looks like. Okay, like that, like that. So if we see prices move back down again into this May 29, 31 area, regardless of how low it goes, even though I wouldn't expect it to go as low as here, because this was where the convergence divergence happened on the monthly time frame. So I think this is really, matter of fact, on the daily, I should say the daily time frame, I would really like to see it hold, and for the bottom to be somewhere above that level. That would be the ultimate. It's not necessary but it would be definitely the ultimate for a low risk, high probability trade. So mark this period down here, May 29, 31 of 2017, as a time to be really looking at the long side of Canadian dollar, because I expect some bullishness to ensue from the May 29, 31 time period. At least for me, that would be the best time. And right now, if you look at the MACD, it's not showing here. Let me bring that back down again. You see the MACD right now is on its upward swing, but it's starting to get a little bit of, possible correction here. It might go down to the 0 level, or might go down and go below 0. Whether it goes down to 0 or below 0 come May 29, 31, in both situations, we have an opportunity here for the longer side in Canadian dollars. So I am overall, for the long term, bullish the Canadian dollar, and I think the best short-term opportunity, short to intermediate term, is at the end of May for this market. Well, thanks again for watching. If you haven't done so, please subscribe. That way you're informed of upcoming videos. You also want to click the little bell next to the subscribe. That at least notifies you, because YouTube made it just a little bit harder to be notified unless you click that little bell. That way it will notify you, because you know how time sensitive my videos are. I thank you for watching again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.